G'day and welcome back to another Couch Critics Top 10. I'm Sogg.
And I'm Brad.
And this week we're looking at the top 10 A-League marquees so far. Bradley, this has been a difficult... Let's put a caveat on this. It's been really difficult to leave players out because we've had some fantastic players in the A-League, haven't we?
Yeah, we've had some banging players over the past, 14, 15 years. And I started... Wikipedia does a fantastic job that they list the marquees of every season. I thought the first one, it's pretty good. Kept going through. I was like, fire out, you want a top 10 for this. It's going to be hard.
Yeah. We've had some fantastic players. You know, arguably Sydney FC have been the best at bringing in quality marquees.
I mean when you're Bling FC and you have all the money.
This list is not populated with Sydney FC players. It's okay. We're not going to show too much bias. We've got a good top 10 and we're not going to give honourable mentions because, like we said, literally so many other than Pierre Vicari. So many.
Come on, he scored 2 goals. Not like that Maltese player Melbourne City got or something.
Offside. Anyway, let's get into it with number 10.
Yep. Now, it's not Brun Fornaroli, which I've written down on my computer in front of me. It's Bruno Fornaroli, current Marquette Perth glory. He was at Melbourne City before.
Yep.
Oh man, that wasn't scripted, eh? Was that the FFA Cup?
FFA Cup final.
Goodness.
Oh, brilliant. Bruno Fornaroli, Uruguayan. I don't know actually where he came from. Which club did he come from to join Melbourne City?
I don't really know, but unless I'm mistaken, I think he played at like a youth level with Luis Suarez.
Yeah, probably.
Like at a national, I think he represented Uruguay at a younger level. So I might be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
So it's pretty hard as Aussies to enjoy a Uruguayan, but Bruno Fornaroli, El Tuna, great in front of goals. His best years really were at Melbourne City. And now he's at Perth, where he was okay this season, but he's got more to give after having that kind of half season off. But yeah, fantastic player, enjoyable to watch.
Yeah,
and definitely has made a kind of big impact on the league.
Yeah, and I think he must be up there in the goal tallies for most goals. I don't think he'd be anywhere near like Smelts and the Berisha and Thompson, but he must be up in the top 5.
Yeah.
Sure, I don't have the stats in front of me off the top of my head.
That's a big claim. We should check that.
You're gonna be too slow on your bloody phone, so I'm just gonna.
Erasure.
He scored 48. So he's got about 58 goals. So I don't know in terms of the A-League where that goes.
They're up in,
he'd be up there. But
It's okay. Anyway,
we're back to it. So he scored a lot of goals.
Yeah. So
in a couple of seasons,
good
too.
strikers. Number 10. Like I said, hard to pick a top 10. Move on to number 9 and a player who's close to my heart.
Yeah, this is someone you probably remember a lot more than me.
Yeah, Dwight York. Dwight York for Sydney FC in the opening season, the original marquee. I mean, as far as starting a league off, that was huge. And didn't he deliver? Like, he was a joy to watch. Partying all night, coming and banging goals on the weekend. And the role, fitting that then in the first grand final, cuts the ball back to Stevie Corica to score that goal. He had a fantastic impact. Just the start of the A-League, he was a joy to watch.
What can I say? He played for Sydney FC. He played for Manchester United. I'm being a Liverpool fan. I haven't much to say about him, so I'll let you do the talking on that one. Let's go to number 8. Someone a bit closer to my heart as a Liverpool fan, Robbie Fowler. Yeah. I mean, what a signing for the now dead North Queensland Fury in their first season.
Yeah,
imagine the scouts ringing up Robbie and said, "Oh, you want to come play in the A-League?" He was like, "Yeah, sure. Where's your team?" Townsville. Oh, where's that? Oh, it's New Sydney. Oh, it won't be too hot. Imagine Robbie Fowler going from the north cold of Merseyside of England going up to North Queensland in the middle of summer.
There's a reason
if he was packed on with that, he would have lost that pretty quickly of all the sweating he would have done those games.
Yeah. He
about 10 goals in his first season with North Queensland.
He wasn't amazing. And even at Perth, he played a part. He was a pretty good player. But in terms of, as a player who had quality, he's a big name signing. And he's actually had an impact on the league that he's played for 2 clubs now and also is now a manager of Brisbane Roar.
Hopefully he's still the manager when we get back to the comp.
We'll see. But in terms of, yeah, someone like that, you know, a guy literally with the nickname God coming to Australian football, it was pretty big, and people enjoyed watching him. Heaps of Liverpool supporters in Australia who got behind him. Yeah, he's good value.
Yeah, and number 7 we had on our list. Someone that was there in the beginning for the A-League, almost over with Melbourne Victory for 10 years. I'm pretty sure you know who we're talking about. We're talking about Archie Thompson.
Archie Thompson. I'm even looking at our list now. He probably could have been higher, but we've put him at number 7.
Yeah.
He's a cult hero, isn't he? Like, you think A-League, you think Archie Thompson. 5 goals in that final against Adelaide.
13 against American Samoa. I mean, that's not the A-League, but still, what a player.
Him and Bozza having jokes on Fox Sports late night. Just brilliant. He loves a piss take. You love to hate him.
Remember when he two-footed tackle? Did he two-foot tackle that girl? On the sideline, it's just doing like a little drill before a game.
Yeah, so he's had an impact on the league since he's retired, but he really is the quintessential kind of A-League player. He's rough and guts.
Yeah.
But he was also really skillful. He scored some beautiful goals. He loved a Melbourne derby.
And he was a Bathurst 75 junior.
Yeah. He actually started his career under 6s, Lithgow City Rangers.
Wow.
That's a
at the
stat
bottom,
for you.
and now he's here.
But yeah, he's a huge. You think of A-League, you think of him. So massive, and he was marquee at Melbourne Victory for a couple of seasons.
I think for the majority of his career, because he came from PSV. Well, he was loaned to PSV. He came from overseas in Europe to Melbourne Victory, and he loves the club. Yeah. And he's such a loose character. He's such a larrikin, and geez, he's an interesting panelist sometimes for the A-League games. Because anyway.
Okay, let's move on to number 6 then, and we've got Diego Castro, silky, classy Spaniard who just oozes class.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed watching him play ever since he came to Perth. I think he's been there for about 5-6 years. It's been a while now. It must be getting on a bit.
I can't believe he's still playing, and he's what,
36? He's getting a bit on in his
age.
But
he's by far Perth's best player, just because, maybe physically he's not there.
He's captain, isn't he?
He is the captain of the squad. He might not be there physically, but his brain and his touch, he's exquisite. Just some of the stuff he can do in small areas, the way he can dictate game. Perth aren't particularly a counter-attacking quick team. They centralise their game around him, and he is just the playmaker and makes so much happen for them. He's still got quality. I reckon we could still see him for another season, maybe 2. He might play till he's 40, who knows.
I don't know how he does it in those really hot summer nights over in WA.
He's from Spain. They've got nice dry weather sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I've never been to Spain, so I can't comment. So I've never been to WA too, so I can't comment.
Okay, number 5 on the list. Seriously, I think this guy should be number 1.
Yeah, sure, whatever. But I'll let you talk about it. Yeah. Milos Ninkovic.
I could talk for days. Milos Ninkovic.
But the viewers don't want to. The viewers don't want you to hear you talk about it for days.
Beautiful. Milos Ninkovic. What a player.
Yeah, not bad.
And again, we're talking about players who have quality, and I mean Milos has got to be up there, A-League all time, quality wise. And then what they've added to the league, he's been through Sydney and a major part of their transition from being average, as we were for a couple of years there, to unbelievable. Like, so much he does. Maybe he doesn't do the defensive work he should do all the time, but I go to Sydney FC games sometimes just to watch Milos Ninkovic run around the park. His control is beautiful. His small little touches, the passes, the little dink. Man, I'm just crushing over here. He's beautiful. A beautiful, beautiful man. And literally we are honoured to have him in the A-League. That guy is next level. So I could talk about him all day. If you want to see that, hit us up in the comments, because I will. But yeah, number 5, because he wasn't the hugest name. Okay, that's probably the one thing he's got against him. But yeah, he's got a free beer in any pub in Sydney for the rest of his life. Yeah, he's fantastic.
What a kiss ass.
Yeah, you can't deny though.
I'm not denying it. No,
when you watch him play, he's beautiful. He's the things he can do with a football. I'll tell you. Wow.
You're blushing a bit, mate. Anyway, now there's someone a bit closer to my heart, number 4, Shinji Ono. What a signing he was at the time for the Wanderers who just started up. We've been recruiting some players. I don't think we'd recruited anyone of significant note. Aaron Moy was our first player, but I still think in the years to come is when he would build up his name. But Shinji Ono, he'd spent years in Germany, and a lot of the Japanese football pundits said, nah, this guy's past it. And so he came out here, and I think you just had to be a part of the club when he came to the club and what he added to the Wanderers, That first marquee. I remember his chip goal against Brisbane in the semi-final.
That was special.
What he brought, just the little pieces of magic on the ball, those nice little goals. I can't remember the other goal. There was another similar goal he scored. Another beautiful one.
Yeah, from the top of the box. Yeah.
But the one that comes to mind is Brisbane. And I think just what he added to that club and that hype, you just had to be in the Western Sydney community to feel that hype in the first couple of seasons of what the Wanderers were doing. They were just bringing in so many people who'd never watched the sport before, rugby league guys who'd never watched the sport before, to support this club. And I think Shinji Ono was, at the height of the Wanderers' popularity, what he just... Yeah, it's just incredible. Like his impact today. I mean, we still... Yeah. The RBB, the fans still sing... Oh no, Shinji. Yeah, that Yaya Toure thing. Yeah,
he was huge. He was huge. At that time, when Wanderers were getting a huge pulling, he was the centerpiece of their play. He was a great footballer. I did love going and watching Sydney derbies and sitting there, and every time he misplaced a pass, going, "Oh no!"
And I remember him scoring in the Sydney derby too. So that was pretty good too. Second season, did he score in the first derby at the Sydney Football Stadium? Yeah. Remember Yusuf Hersey did? No, I think it was Michael Beecham.
Well, while we're talking about scoring in Sydney derbies...
we could talk about, I don't know, for ages.
Well, yeah, while we're talking about scoring in Sydney derbies, let's go to number 3 on our list, Alessandro Del Piero, the first goal scorer in a Sydney derby. That penalty...
That he missed.
And then...
That was saved.
Mate,
so he didn't score a penalty. Let's clarify that Alessandro Del Piero did not score a penalty in the derby.
Yeah, so...
He stuffed up the penalty against Ante Kovic. Come on, let's be quite honest. Del Piero is a much better player than Ante Kovic.
He stuffed up.
Very different positions. But then he got the rebound.
And how many years... Anyway, let's not get on to that. Alessandro Del Piero, and maybe... Yeah, he's not number 1, of course. Actually, at the time, Sydney FC weren't fantastic, but the impact he had on our league was huge. And
if he was there for longer than 2 seasons, we probably... if he was there for 5-6 years, we probably would consider him the first. Because I don't think any A-League club has signed a player such high profile, such high quality, ever. And ever again, maybe not.
The buzz, when he came and people were at the airport. We don't have those kind of scenes in Australia, but we got it. This is a guy who left Juventus. He'd been at Juventus his whole career. He's a legend in Turin, and he came to Sydney FC. Now, the fallout from his time here, maybe he didn't really train with the team. Sometimes he was a bit selfish with the ball. And Sydney FC's tactics at that kind of time was pass it to Del Piero and let him do something.
Just hope he'll do something.
But he did. He had some incredible moments. The 4 goals against Wellington Phoenix. That first goal he scored against Newcastle Jets, the free kick. He's known for his free kick taking, and then he bombs that in the first game. Yeah.
That week he signed, I think it was the space of 2 weeks or something. That was a boom time for the A-League because we got Del Piero, then we got Shinji Ono, and then we got Mel Heskey, who probably didn't live up to his potential. He could have done the other game. He scored a couple of goals.
Yeah.
But maybe he'll be in the top 2.
But yeah, Del Piero, a huge catalyst. We should have made more as a nation on that signing. We could have made more for the A-League.
Yeah.
But what he did was incredible. He dragged bums to stadiums. And yeah, so he wasn't the best. He was a bit past it. Still had moments of magic in him. And just huge for the A-League to have a name like that. It was massive. But what about number 2? And this guy has...
Everyone's player they love to hate, but personally, I love Besart Berisha. I love his passion he has for the game. And the way he tries to stir up other teams in I love it. Like if we had if your club had someone like that, you'd absolutely love him. You absolutely hate them when they're not playing for your club, but when you're at your club, you love him and you love his passion because he wore his heart on his sleeve when he was at Victory and in Brisbane, and now he's at Western United. I think he's not been as passionate as before, but I've loved watching him.
The guy's a goal scorer too. You put him in the box, he'll find the net. Like give him. Sometimes he needs a few chances, but you almost could bet on it. Like he's going to score goals and do it in such a way. Like he's created so many moments. The final against Perth Glory when he goes down in the box, but then
was it a penalty or was it not?
But he's got the guts then to back up. He scores the penalty. He's cocky and you want to hate him, but you just can't deny he's brilliant. And again, he's somebody you want to watch. It's somebody that non-footballers, they want to watch Besart Berisha. He could, I love that he's come back to Australia. He loves Australia and he's come back. Maybe he's not quite what he was when he was at Brisbane Roar, but he's quality. He's quality. We love him. Yeah. You got to.
And he's been here for a significant time. I think he's really at it. He's the record goal scorer in the A-League. I think he's got over 100 goals. I can't speak highly enough of him. I don't really hate him enough. I just really enjoy watching him play because he can score goals, but he's just not a boring usual kind of carbon copy of a player saying, "Oh yeah, the boys did well today." He's a controversial figure and he's got character. I really love watching him play.
Yeah, he's great for the league. And our number 1 on this list is a teammate of his at one point when really they were probably the best club in Australian football, Brisbane Roar, and it's Thomas Broich.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to go past him. He was potentially, when he was at Germany, they were talking about this could be the next big thing, the next big player in Germany. Didn't live up to the hype, but I think he was instrumental for Brisbane Roar winning 3 titles in about 4 years.
You think of that Brisbane team and you can't go past Thomas Broich in the mid. But he was marquee at that club for 5 years. Like, he stuck around. He was a legend of the club. And, we've talked about a few players on this list who oozed, class. Like, you've got Castro, you've got Ninkovic, you've got Shinji Ono and Del Piero, who... their control, the way they control games is wonderful. And then you've got Thomas Broich is a step above. He is... Watching him play football was incredible. He just knew what he was doing. He could find a pass from nowhere.
Yeah.
He popped up with important goals. Yeah, he was so classy and he was a joy to have in the league. And he's got to be the number 1.
And I just think what Brisbane achieved in that time. I think that 2027, actually, it was probably more. It was like, how long did Brisbane go undefeated for?
Yeah, it
was pushing 30 games,
wasn't it?
And
35
just
games.
Something like that. And I just think to be a part of that, he was a catalyst for that happening. And undoubtedly, probably the best A-League team of all time so far. That Brisbane side, and it was all on the back of Thomas Broich. He was the main cog in that machine there at Brisbane.
Yeah. So there you go. That's our top 10 A-League marquees so far. Let us know what you think. Maybe you think we've got it completely wrong. Let us know in the comments. And do make sure to like this video if you've enjoyed what you've watched. Subscribe so you can find out what our next top 10 is going to be next week. And hit us up on the socials. You can find Bradley and me on Instagram, and you can find us on Twitter as well. So hit us up. Let us know what you think. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. G'day and welcome back to another Couch Critics Top 10. 10 fingers, right?
Yes, thank you for clarifying that again. And he said he was from Bathurst last video. He's not. He's from Lithgow. So that's much more understandable than he only has like 3 fingers.
Welcome back to another Couch Critics Top 10. And
Are you going to introduce your name? We don't. The viewers don't know who you are. Well, if they're into this video, they surely should know who we are by now. This is Sogg and I'm Brad.
Let's do another third introduction.